With the Archives event right around the corner, it's time for Blizzard to start dropping the teasers. Just today, Blizzard tweets out a local newspaper titled How Don Rumbotico's international fame is slowly erasing its founders from the narrative, with a news ticker on the bottom reading, "A local legacy forgotten, unwelcome changes threaten Havana's rich heritage." And as well, Cuba braces for Hurricane Fernand. And as we can see, a storm is looming, and on the side of this building, the subject in question, there's a picture, a likeness, or a logo even, of Don Rumbotico, who shares a striking resemblance to other Omnic characters we know from the Overwatch lore. The tweet links to the Blizzard website, where for some reason, even though we're in 2060, they're still using regular newspapers, but the article reads as such: "These days, everyone knows Don Rumbotico. Savior quality, only the best. Ads in warm, rich colors, and a logo featuring a well-dressed Omnic. But few outside of Havana know of the distillery's hometown roots and controversial recent history." The article's a bit lengthy, so you can go over to the Blizzard Twitter and website to read it word for word, but in short, I'll summarize for you the story elements they're adding to the mix here. Don Rumbotico is a big corporate brand that bought out a family business of rum makers. In the article, they're interviewing the great-granddaughter, and she said, "They offered us a lot of money. It could have changed our lives, but Don Rumbotico is my family's legacy, and you can't put a price on that. And worse yet, there seems to be some pretty serious foul play, some mafia-esque tactics, or maybe even Talon," as they go on to explain. "At first, the Diaz family refused, but then the rum shipments began to go missing. When the distillery burned down in a suspected case of arson, the Diaz family was left with nothing. They were forced to sell the company for a sliver of its worth. Since then, this evil capitalistic entity took over things, and the reputation of the rum isn't quite the same. Alicia says you can taste the difference," and the paper goes on to explain further. "Don Rumbotico isn't the only beloved local icon to suffer unwelcome changes. The Havana Sea Fort, a historical landmark, has been protected by the Cuban government for centuries. But 2 years ago, it was bought by the same group who purchased Don Rumbotico and became private property. Like the rum distillery, the Sea Fort too is almost unrecognizable. Now, security guards patrol its grounds and unfamiliar helicopters traffic through its airspace, while its doors remain closed for the public for the foreseeable future. Armed guards and helicopters? Well, this sure sounds like a Talon-based organization now, doesn't it?" The article concludes by quoting Alicia, "The face of Havana is changing. Throughout our conversation, she hasn't touched her drink. Don Rumbotico gazes down from the billboard outside, the brim of his fedora casting a shadow across his metal face. Sometimes it feels like we're losing a piece of ourselves. Or maybe we've already lost it. Dun dun dun!" Okay, dark and ominous, an evil organization running the seaport, and as well, to add to the dark, ominous tones, there's an incoming hurricane which should add some drama to the mix. Hurricane Fernand swept in from the Atlantic on Tuesday, flooding the Florida coastline and heading south towards the Bahamas. The Category 3 storm is due to hit, okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Gardalavika by Thursday and work its way up the coast to Havana. Communities along the coastlines are being evacuated. Hurricane Ferdinand is expected to cause massive damage, even inland. Don't try to wait it out. Take every precaution to ensure your safety and head inland as soon as possible. Okay, so that's the teaser. What can we expect from this? Well, first, a few patches ago, in the Numbani airport, there was a poster change for the destinations, setting one to Havana. So with that clue and now this overt teaser, it's pretty clear that we're going there. And despite some worries about the weird leak of the archives from last year on the website, you guys were sure to remind us that in previous interviews, Jeff did say that they do have something special for the Archives event. He said that on Fran's stream, I believe. So I would say overall, it's a pretty safe bet that we're getting two things. One, the Archives mission set in Havana, somehow involving this secret Talon base. Now, with a storm looming overhead, they're pretty short on time. So it's hard for me to imagine a reason why an Overwatch strike team or Blackwatch or anything would send a mission there to do anything. It's going to be very dangerous walking into the eye of the storm. But there may be some objectives that we don't know about yet. Or on the other hand, and I don't necessarily think this is likely, but it would definitely be cool, maybe we'll be playing this from the Talon point of view, with characters like Moira Baptiste, Doomfist, just like the old leak already showed. Now, this achievement leak was labeled as potentially phony, but if the last Archives mission was the downfall of Reaper, maybe this one is the point where Baptiste changes sides, with maybe the authorities coming after them and they have to make an escape similar to how you did in the wave-based mission of the Retribution event last year. And then beyond that, more than likely, I would say Havana is going to come to the multiplayer game as a payload or hybrid map, mostly because we just got Busan for Control and Paris for Assault, so that just seems to be the most logical. And even more specific than that, it's probably hybrid, because Rialto was the pure payload map before it. Well guys, that's everything for my theories of the new event. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Was there something that we missed? Remember, last week Jeff Kaplan said there's going to be a dev update this week, so that could be coming any day now. Not to mention, there's probably a new comic on its way with this Archives event set to launch next week. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave it a like. It really does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description is our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, and dank memes. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.